Let's get onto the interview and stuff. What are you working on at the moment?
My label, Year Round Records, is my priority right now. NYGs is my first group that I signed on the label. They dropped an album in 2008 called Welcome to Cheatham, and now we're dropping the new album called Hustlers Union, Local NYG. I'm producing the entire album. First time since the last Gangsta album and the owners that I've done doing the entire album. It's just a really different style of a album that doesn't sound like anything out there, and I don't even think anybody right now can even stand next to it that's dropping a hip-hop album, you know. Then I also have an artist from Texas on my label named Khalil. He's about to drop his album. The album's called Already. And then I have an album from an artist named Nick Jarvis. He's actually about to drop a double single. He's the latest signing to the label, which obviously Black Poet was already signed to the Year Round as well. But Nick Jarvis has a single out now called Not a Game, and we actually submitted it to ESPN, and they liked it. And then the A-side of that single is called Opportunity Knocks, and it's actually the reenactment of him auditioning to sign to my label. So he's trying to convince me to sign to the label, but I'm annoyed because I don't really deal with just people walking in and being able to just get a record deal. Every time he spits a verse, I respond to what I think of his rhyme, but with scratch. Like, we're actually talking back and forth. I just don't speak. You know what I'm saying? So I've never done a record like this. It's very unique, and the video looks exactly like the record. Like, it's verbatim exact. It's a funny video. He had a beard when he came to shoot it, and so we had to shoot it backwards. We actually shot it where we had to do the third verse first because he had a beard. Then we did the second verse where he shaved the beard down a little bit, and then he did the first verse. He completely shaved all his hair on his face off, mustache, everything, and he's dressed in little weird nerd clothes and suspenders, like a Urkel type, you know, from Family Matters, and you know, he transforms into Nick Jarvis every time that I hear a better verse. I mean, so this whole thing, the whole scenario is just me, him, and Gordon, who runs my label. As simple as it is, it's funny and it's realistic, and it really paints what he's trying to do to get an opportunity to be, you know, signed to my labels. I'm really happy with this. So be on the lookout for that. We're actually just online yesterday, so we'll start getting it out to the public next week.
This sounds like a lot of fun. Did you have the creative input with that video?
Yeah, all the time. He came up with the idea even for the song.
The whole shaving thing was your idea?
No, that was his idea, and I thought it was good. It was cool. I wrote the treatment, presented it to them because I said, even though it was very simple, but I explained how I wanted it to be exactly like that, because the song, he created the idea for the song when I wanted to figure out the best way to break him, being that he's a white artist, and it's not even a race thing, but when you're dealing with a white rapper and you're under my umbrella, you have to really come off to the degree of where the people that already love me for what I do, for me to co-sign a white artist that can really spit and I can stand by, you know, the fact that he's younger and doesn't know all the history that I grew up on. So, long story short, I had to, he said, well, instead of me saying, hey, I'm a dope white rapper and all this stuff, let me do a song where I'm trying to convince you to sign me to the label. And that's when he said, how about we call it Opportunity Knocks? And then that got my wheels to spinning, and I was like, you know what? I'll make a beat out of a knock on the door. And so throughout the whole song, there's a knock on the door, and I made a beat around it. You know, like, oh, yeah, that'll work, and it completely worked. You know, it came together real well, and that's when I knew, all right, I said, well, let me figure out how to structure, you know, doing more songs. And then we did the Not a Game record, which is the B-side to the single, and I was like, all right, this guy gets it. He's really hungry. He really loves to perform. He loves the stage. He likes to jump out in the crowd. He likes to do all the crazy stuff, and he's really with it. So we just, click so much. It's like, yo, I'm taking you on the road with me. You know, he wants to be a star. He wants to be in the mainstream. He doesn't want to be a hard street artist. The good thing about him is he can do street records, and then he can also do the commercial stuff because he's all around type of artist. So now I have that. I got my street artist because I love my hardcore hip hop, and he can also swing with the best of them. I mean, he was on Poet's album Legendary, and he set that off and killed it. And he's on the new NYG's album, and so we got a lot of good stuff on the roster. I have the extended family that I'm working with on the West Coast on my label too. I got MC8 from Compton's Most Wanted. We're going to do an album, and Young Melee, who's down with WC, and Crazy Tunes. He's going to be doing an album with us on Year Round as well. So my Beats That Collected Dust Volume 2 is about to come out. It's just all beats that people passed on or didn't like or whatever, and they're just sitting around. So I'm just dropping that Volume 2 next week. It's only vinyl and digital, only release. It's just a rare thing I like to do. And then on the side, I'm working with Busta Rhymes, I'm working with Fat Joe, and I'm working with Kanye West.
My goodness. Is there anyone you haven't worked with?
Ghostface. I've been meaning to work with Ghostface.
Look, it sounds like you've got an awesome team at the moment and a sort of fantastic chemistry going off, when like sort of a creative chemistry with these new cats that you've got. But, I mean, you've been in the game for 20 years and you've worked with, like I said, just about everybody. Has that happened before, like that kind of perfect connection, that sort of vision? You sort of get together and like bouncing great ideas off each other and just escalate to something awesome. Has that like happened before and with anyone else you worked?
I mean, just whoever I work with, it's always magical just because of the fact that I pride myself on making records that are memorable. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's really, really underground, like if it's a record from Rise and Shine, Got Your Back, or a Paula Perry record, those are just as important to me as my other records. So they all mean a lot. I mean, I know Jay-Z's on a bigger level, but I knew Jay-Z before he was platinum and rich and a billionaire and a big mogul. So it happens.
What's been the most memorable sort of collaboration you've done, you feel?
The most memorable, definitely Gangstar.
Yeah.
I mean, without that, there probably wouldn't have been, neither one of us wouldn't have been the way we are. I mean, I've always wanted to do more than just hip-hop. I mean, that's why I did the Christina Aguilera gig.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to show my range. I mean, a true producer and a true fan of what I love what I do for a living. So when you're really a true diehard fan, you're willing to try other things, but still stay within a certain guideline of not messing up, losing your fan base that appreciates what you do. I could do it and research everything just like I'm going to school. Like, that's what makes me still be sharp at 44 years old. You gotta still do your research. You still gotta study, because this thing is an important thing to understand, the theory of music, in order to still go outside of your regular planet and still be respected for what you did there. Like, everybody that heard I was working with Christina, all the hip-hop heads, they didn't know what to expect. And then they were like, man, I bought it because of you. I'm on my 3rd Grammy. I want 10 more. And to get one for Christina for the single makes it, even though I wish her album did get a Grammy, it still feels good that the only Grammy she got for that album was my single. You know what I'm saying? Because that means they singled out our record together and gave it a fucking award. And that's a beautiful thing.
It must be. It's sort of a recognition from a completely different level.
Absolutely.
Do you actually have a favorite track that you've made?
Not really. I've done so many records. I mean, even now, since I look at my discography, I'm like, God damn, I did a lot. It's hard to...
It's pages and pages.
Yeah. The tour, when I go out to New Zealand, I got to figure out how to put that together, because, I was going to come out and do my thing, and like I usually do, but now the groove passed. I got to actually alter it. I got to, get some footage. I got to now see if I can get a screen and, put up where I can show some footage, and do a certain segment of the show, because...
Are you going to be bringing your crates of records, or are you on Serato at the moment?
No, I'm on Serato now. It took me a while to really adjust to it. Last time I was out there, I was on the Buggin' Out tour with Redman and Method Man and DJ Cool. And now I'm on Serato, but I still do my demonstrations of cutting, scratching, and mixing just like a true DJ is supposed to, where you don't lose any of those elements. You still get it the way you're supposed to get it.
All right, Mr. Premier. I think we should probably wrap it up.
All right, brother, I really appreciate you. Obviously, you're going to be at the gig, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right at front row, mate. I'll come and introduce myself. I come for the sound check.
There it is. Not a problem. You come see me, and maybe we'll have a beer or something.
I'd love that.
You got it.
Thank you, Mr. Premier.
All right, then.
You have a good day.
You too, brother. Adios.